Hey everybody, this is Cody B coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. We're actually downtown at the Hilton, Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to have an event tonight, this evening. And so if you're anywhere in the area, we invite you to come on out to our event this evening, downtown Nashville. It starts at 6:30 p.m. Nashville time for our referral partners in our business. And then 7:30, we're going to be doing the book launch, The Power of Human Connection. And we'll be doing that. We're real excited about the book. We started the tour last night in North Carolina, a very successful event there, a lot of excited people. We're excited about this book because this book features many, many stories like the one you're about to see here today. So a lot of the Relationship Marketing Weekly episodes from people of all different industries are featured here in this book, in addition to a lot of other business principles and things. So we're out here pre-launching that book. We're excited. And, go to the Cody Bateman. How do you go? What's the
CodyBateman.com launch.
CodyBateman.com / launch. You can get all the details on the book. And again, it's all about relationship marketing. And that's who we are. It's what we do. We teach people how to create relationships in their business, how to generate referral business, how to increase business exponentially by a relationship marketing system. And so I've got a very, very special guest on with us today. I tell you, you better be hanging on for this girl. She's amazing. She's a bundle of energy, and there's a lot of very valuable things that she will be teaching us today. Please welcome Gina Best from Intentional Success Coaching. It's her own company. Gina, welcome to our show today.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, I'll tell you, we're real excited to have you. Gina's a very successful entrepreneur who's run does run several successful businesses, not just her intentional success coaching business. She also has a highly successful mortgage business, and she's in the online training business. So let me tell you, this is a woman that goes out and makes things happen, and she's going to share with us a little bit today of how she does that. First of all, Gina, you are all about relationships. No matter what business you're running, you're all about relationships and all about referral-based relationships. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Like, for instance, people would be interested. You're a highly successful mortgage company owner, which you build everything by referral, and also your coaching business. Just tell us a little bit about what you do and your philosophy of how you build.
Well, my philosophy is everything is about relationship. When it comes to, I really feel that that's the foundation in everything. I was lucky enough when I started as a mortgage broker. It happened there inadvertently. I had a boss who was really excited about it and pushed me. And I had a friend who told me about BNI, which is Business Networking International. So off I went to a chapter, and I was introduced to this whole different way of doing business by referral. And I learned that it was all about relationships. So I will never be a cold caller. If I had to cold call or call people I don't know, I would starve to death. My children would not eat. But I can build a relationship. I can talk to anybody. And that's what I realized. It's all about the relationship. So once I had that, it was a light bulb that came off, because I started my first business with no clients, a phone and an office. And then I just started talking to people. And that for me it opened so many doors. And then as I started to build, I realized, making connections and talking to people were one thing, but then how did they remember me? Now, I will admit that I'm not very forgettable, but, when the day is gone and they're, looking at a choice of doing business with someone, how do they remember me? So that's when I got introduced to amazing systems. And one of them was send out cards. So in the beginning, I remember I was years ago, I had my account, and I remember filling out the font table that I still use. And that must've been, 12 years ago, but I sent cards to everybody. I would hound people if their addresses weren't on business cards. I would hound them for addresses. And that's how I started. I would send cards to everybody. I'd pick up the phone and call them after I sent the card. I'm not a big, oh, hello, email person, because it's not the same. It's not the same as that connection. So as I thank God for systems, because as I built, like last year in the mortgages, we funded 140 million. And so I got my clients that way, but I also got brokers that way. People would hear about me. Someone would introduce me. I used to send thank you cards for everything. I used to keep a basket under my desk. It was one of the very first things I learned. So anytime I went to networking, I'd come back, I'd pull the basket out, I would send out 10 thank you cards. When I got sent out cards, thank goodness the basket didn't have to go. The basket got to go because the dog ate it. And that's how it started, truthfully. And now in coaching, I take it even a step further. So yeah, I send thank you cards for a lot of things, but now I do, you know, when I have a goal session with clients, I'll send them a card with their main goal on the front, or something fun on the front and their goals inside, so they can put it up and see it. Because statistics show 80% of people, if you look at your goals, you're 80% more successful and bigger chance to hit it. So if you can look at a cool card on your wall every day and see your goals. So I'm a huge believer of touch points. So my goal for my clients, my mortgage clients, are 12 touch points a year. So it could be, some of them are phone calls. I do a couple newsletters. I actually do fun, different cards. I do Christmas cards, and birthday cards, but I also do St. Patty's Day cards, Valentine's Day cards. My favorite are Halloween cards because we do fun things on the front. And they always generate a phone call, and that's what it's all about.
You know, what's interesting about that is, you know, we've seen a lot of studies done a lot of studies ourselves. And one of the things that a lot of the smart people, I call them smart people, they do these studies. What people are most interested in is how do I generate a new customer, number one, and how do I generate referrals from my prospects or my customers? Those are two things that people are very interested in. And you mentioned touch points. Studies have shown that it takes between 5 to 12 touch points, as you would say, in order to generate a prospect that turns into a sell or to generate a referral. So let's say you have a customer already and you have these touch points. It takes between 5 to 12 touch points for them to generate referral business back to you, 5 to 12 touch points with a prospect to generate a sell. So you naturally have a rule. I notice in the back there, you got these rules. They're your family rules, but you have some business rules too.
Absolutely.
And you're saying 12 touch points is a business rule for you.
Minimum 12 touch points. And every January, I will lay them out. Now, I will admit life gets in the way and they get shifted, but every January, I will lay out the 12 touch points for a year. And then when I get a new client, I start it right away. And it's the little things. And it's funny. I gotta share a quick story. So I was looking for a card to show you. So I have a really good friend who lives on Vancouver Island. We've been friends for 30 years. And I introduced her to send out cards a couple years ago. And last week, I got a card. And I got this fabulous little gift inside of it. And you can't see it, but it's a little key. Mm-hmm. And on it, it says freedom. So for me, my purpose is to inspire different freedoms, and she knows this. But this is the whole point. She's one of my best friends. It's not a business thing, but this has been on my desk since the day I got it, and I've been carrying it around in my wallet. So if that's a client of yours that you know something, can you imagine the impact you can have if you take the time? You're already building the relationship with them, but if you can take the time to find what means something. Every time I've pulled this out of my wallet, people have asked me about it, and they've asked me where I've gotten it.
Okay, so that person that sent that to you is top of mind for you every time you, not only do you pull it out, but you feel it in your pocket. I mean, we call that tangible touches.
Absolutely.
You know, and tangible touches, especially in today's day and world, you know, the digital world we live in, the power of tangible touches is more important today than ever before. And you've learned how to master that. Now, when you say 12 touch points, can you just kind of give us an example of what is a touch point? You know, how do you reach out to your customer or prospect 12 times a year?
Well, minimum 4 of them are cards. So usually it's Christmas card, birthday card. They're the standard, or New Year's card, birthday card. Then I always do Halloween because it makes me happy. Sometimes I do St. Patty's Day or Valentine's Day. Sometimes I'll do Canada Day because we're in Canada. So I do at least 4 cards, sometimes 6. It depends on the year. Depends how rich I feel in the beginning of the year, because I do custom fronts that my marketing team do for me. And then I do, through my mortgage company, I do 4 printed newsletters, and they actually get mailed out. Through my coaching, I'm actually doing a monthly newsletter through email, which is new for me, and I'm trying to stay on top of it. And then phone calls, and then sometimes I will try to, phone calls are a big one. If people take nothing else away from today, it's touch points are super important late for the year. And this thing is called a phone.
Yeah.
It's not a mini computer. Yes, it is, but it's actually a phone.
Right.
Pick it up and use it. I do a lot of presentations, and it's one of the things I stress the most because people have forgotten how to use it. It is great that we're in an electronic world to a point, but the connection, and it's about relationship marketing. It's building business by referral. You cannot do that without the connection, and you can't get that connection without actually speaking to somebody. If you can't pick up the phone, the other thing I've been doing a lot of is Zoom. I do a lot of meetings face-to-face with Zoom because you see the people, you get to know them. It's not the same as a text or an email. So if nothing else, pick up the phone. If you have in your touch points, so I have 8 solid touch points, and then I have 4 that move around. They could be, I could send a gift. I do anniversary cards. I always find the extra ones. And then the other ones are phone. Like on the mortgage side, every single client I have gets called every quarter.
Well, Gina, I think you'll enjoy the book. There's some sections in this book. It's as if you wrote them, because what you just shared with us, a lot of that philosophy is in the book. I talk a lot about that too. Talk a lot about the importance of the telephone. You know, the fact that this is an actual phone that you talk to somebody with, and how important that is as one or several of your touch points with somebody in a given year.
Absolutely. And for my coaching clients, truthfully, most of my coaching clients are on a bi-weekly schedule, but they all know that if it's the opposite week, they can call me. Usually they text me and say, hey, do you have a minute? And they just want to have a 3-minute phone call. And to take the time and have that 3-minute phone call is huge, because they'll always remember that I will take the time to assist them when they need. And that's a huge part of building business by referral and building relationship business. And in the coaching world, especially in the business coaching world, I kind of work myself out of jobs. You know, a client comes to me, we work together my average is about a year, and then they usually take a break or move on to something different. But my return rate is far higher than most, because 80% of my clients come back. Because once they're gone, they're still in my world.
You know, what's interesting about that is, you mentioned earlier before the call that in your profession of coaching, of personal coaching, 86% of people that receive coaching are one-timers. Like they just get coaching once and they're done. What you're saying is you actually bring people back. I mean, you don't have one-timers. You have multiple timers that come back for sessions. And so that's a tribute to what you're saying and what you're doing. Those are the results in your coaching business for reaching out, creating relationships with people. There's no such thing as one and done with you. It's like you stick with those people, they stick with you through multiple sessions, which anybody who's in the coaching business, I would think that that's real important for you to figure out how to do that. Absolutely.
And my one and done ones are usually can you talk to my friend because they're having a hard time with trying to figure out what they want to do, or, those one. And usually I give them some tools and set them off and ask them to check in with me, because it is about relationships, and for me, again, it's a big circle, and everything you give comes back. And, if I can, every quarter I do a entrepreneur a new entrepreneur group with the YMCA here in Vancouver. And it's one of my favorite things I do every single year. And I get to do it 4 times a year. And those participants, I'd say about 50% of them will come and see me at least once, because I always offer them to come and have a coffee. And most of them keep in touch. And, you know, they're not in a position to hire a business coach now, but they know that they can reach out to me and I will help them. And I know that they tell people about me all the time.
Wow.
And that's what it's all about.
That's great. Well, listen, in closing, I'd like to do something fun here. You're a phenomenal coach, you know, and I love the name of your business, by the way, Intentional Success. That's a great, great name. And that's who you are. That's what you're about, is teaching people the power of intent and intentional success. So here's what we're going to do to close the show today. I would like you, if you would, to give our audience 2 minutes. This is your 2-minute close. 2 minutes of personal coaching. Anything you want that you feel that would help people that are listening today about anything, about life, about relationship marketing, about building a business. What are some key things that are really important for someone to succeed in life? The floor is yours.
Okay, so my 2 minutes for right now, because it is the beginning of August and I know what's going on out there in the business world. This is the time of year people are kind of meh about their business. It's the middle of the summer, you're tired, there's all sorts of things going on. There's a couple tips I'll give you. First of all, number 1, it's okay. It's okay to be a little tired of your business. It's okay to be coasting in August. It is okay to take a break and think, yeah, don't want to do this right now. Just give yourself permission and stop forcing yourself to get through the day mediocre. Take a break. The second thing is, do something. Stop, get a piece of paper out and stop and think, why am I doing this? Sometimes you got to go back to the basics. I have a friend who's a naturopath, and he said to me recently, and I said, honey, why did you do this? Why did you go through all of that schooling? And he sat down and wrote it out. And, you know, we fall in and out of love sometimes. Why are you in your business? Why are you doing it? And the biggest question is, who are you here to serve? Your business, yes, product, service, whatever it is, but there's a bigger part of that. You know, why do you get out of bed in the morning? Not just to feed the kids, but what gets you on those days that you don't want to do it? What gets your feet to the floor? If you know your why, and I know it's the buzzword right now, but if you know why you're doing what you're doing, when the coasting days come, you coast and then you get back to it. You have to fall in love with your business sometimes. And like all relationships, with clients, with suppliers, with yourself, sometimes you've got to put work into your relationship with your business.
Wow. Well, there you have it, everybody. Right from the master herself, Gina Best of Intentional Success. I absolutely love your energy, Gina, and I'm sure everybody listening loves it as well. You've given us some great information today. We appreciate it. All of those who are listening in, if you want to find out how Gina uses these follow-up systems and these card and gifts and tangible touch systems, get back with a person that shared this show with you today, and I'm sure they can help you out. And we look forward to seeing you at an upcoming event. Make sure you get a copy of The Power of Human Connection. And we're going to have to do an addendum to this so that we can put your story in here somehow, because I love what you shared today.
Anytime. And I look forward to seeing you in November, I heard yesterday. The end of November. I'm excited.
That's right. We're excited to be up there. So there you have it, everybody. We'll see you next week on another version of Relationship Marketing Weekly. Take care, everybody.